What's going on, everyone? I was just surfing across YouTube, checking out some disc golf videos. I came across Lucky's video from a couple days ago when she was unboxing a bunch of her new Thought Space discs. It made me so envious. Watching all those great discs being pulled out made me want to start building a Thought Space bag. But I watched that, and then Eagle's new video just posted a couple hours ago popped up. So I started watching it, and I got right here to 55 seconds in. And I was like, hold on, like, he doesn't have any discs here yet. So what I want to do is just capture. I want to watch him build this rough draft bag that he's talking about, and kind of just capture my reaction and talk about some of the discs that he puts in there and my thoughts on those discs. So let's kind of watch
into it. First things first, it's not the putter, it's the one speed. I'm definitely going to be bagging a glitch. I have quite a few glitches, but these are the two that I really like.
Oh, that skull one is sick.
This one is by Jack M on Instagram, Japumu 88, and obviously a Huck dyed one. They're both Electron Soft. I think this one's 150, 151. The glitch is just an incredible disc. A lot of utility. I want to have.
Well, first off, the glitch. I absolutely love the glitch. I don't use it for playing disc golf, but for throwing. Anyways, he just said they're Electron Soft, and maybe they are. I'm not familiar with glitches coming in anything other than Neutron, aside from the new ones that just came out from the Gyropalooza bags, which are like the R2 reverse glow ones. Those right there, based on the reflection of that light, they look like those are Neutron to me, but not saying that they're not Electron Soft, but if they are, I don't think those are available to the public at all yet. That white one with the skull stamp and the rainbow, the swirl one, whatever that is, that one was pretty sick. Now again, like I said, I don't use them for playing disc golf rounds just because I'm simply not good enough to control them and then be reliable for me. But I'm super excited to see Eagle and Simon both throwing those this year.
So I have some really cool prospects for the glitches, but I think I got to put this one in the bag for right now.
Yeah,
absolutely
good call.
Beautiful. For
I approve,
putters,
Eagle. You can do that.
I am planning on putting with the Nomad, Electron Firm Nomad. These are the two cool ones that I got right now. It's this really cool swirly Electron Firm, and then I also have this Electron Firm from DFX.
DFX always does it. DFX does some awesome stamps. My time lapse. Wasn't even going to get a time lapse, and I talked about that in my bag, so I won't go in depth on it. But then I saw this pop up on DFX, and it's just so sick. This isn't supposed to be about me, but I can't help but nerd out about it. As far as the Nomad goes, you know, that's the one slot that I don't throw MVP discs. I use a Elevation Koi OG rubber putter, and I like that. I feel like I can snap those and spin those correctly. But I will say that as of all the MVP discs I've tried, my favorite one would be the Nomad first, and then probably the Atom second.
It does have a bead, I would say a medium-sized bead per se, which I actually really like, and potentially a lot longer. So the Nomad is incredible.
Yeah, he's right. I thought it was going to have a baby bead on it, but it actually does have a fairly pronounced bead. I don't know if you can tell that, but it is a comfortable bead.
I have these Pixels as a backup plan. The Pixel is another amazing putter, but I feel like for my style, I would consider my style like 60 to 70% spin, but the rest being like a push putt. The Pixel's more of a very straight putter, where the Nomad is straight with just a little bit of fade at the end.
I will say, as soon as I get notification that my Pixels are ready and my Eagle Envy is ready, I will be doing a Pixel and or Envy only round with those discs. I can't wait.
Okay, next disc, you got the stabilizer. I have one in Electron and then Cosmic Neutron. Cosmic Neutron's definitely going to make the bag. It is a good putter, but maybe a putter that I use. I think it's just a little bit too overstable, but
I agree.
I actually like the way it feels, so I might test.
I say I agree. Obviously, this is Eagle McMahon. He could probably putt with my drivers better than I can putt with my putters. But yeah, that stabilizer, I bag an entropy in that slot, and I like the entropy because it is a deeper disc. So that kind of goes in line with what he's saying with the Nomad being a little bit more shallow compared to that Pixel. I can see why he maybe prefers the stabilizer over the entropy for that same exact reason.
I feel like it'll kind of fill that P3X slot. It's a little bit slower than an Envy, maybe a little bit.
I will say this, non-disc golf related, and I've been guilty of it myself. Those clip-on microphones, which are absolutely amazing and worth the $120-ish they cost, come with a windscreen, and I would highly recommend using it all the time, not because of the wind, because of the pops and stuff.
Low-key, this is going to be one of the most important discs in my bag. Next up is the Neutron Watt. The Watt is kind of like a glitch without being a glitch. Has much more of a traditional beveled edge rim. Feels almost similar to...
Yo, he's such a nerd, and I'm here for every bit of it, because like, as much as I love the nerd aspect of this stuff, like I would have never thought to even talk about the beveled edge of a disc.
Next disc, obviously one of the GOAT discs of all time, in my opinion. Before I was even on the team, I had Envy. Unbelievable disc. It's my first signature.
He's not wrong. Like, if you're going to throw one disc from MVP and nothing else, it has to, in my opinion, be an Envy. It's an absolutely great putter, throwing putter.
I think I'm going to bag 2 Envies. Obviously, I'm going to be bagging my Rebirth.
Look at that.
Prism Proton.
No, Eagle, don't don't take it away. I don't have mine yet. I got to live through yours. Purple is by far my favorite color, and that orange rim is really making it pop with that stamp color. So gorgeous.
Rebirth, Prism Proton, absolutely beautiful. These are available February 16th at a dealer near you. Yeah, Envy, without doubt, making the bag.
Absolutely.
Next up is
good call, Eagle. Good call.
Going to be in the bag most of the time, but I
Matrix?
feel like there's some circumstances where
it's
there's so
plasma.
many other discs in the entirety of the lineup that I will go to, and I won't force the shot because
entropy.
those discs will fit the slot better. But that being said, this disc is an incredible option. It's the Plasma Entropy. It's definitely more overstable than the P3X. So where I would throw the Razor Claw in the past, I might throw the stabilizer, and instead of a Razor Claw, I'll throw the Entropy, but I'll also throw like the Pyro Deflector, which is the discs. Which are the discs I'm about to talk about. Make it the bag. One of my favorite discs already is the Pyro. The Pyro is an absolute GOAT mid-range, in my opinion.
Just grabbing stuff out of my bag here.
These two that are absolutely beautiful. Another one from Jack M.
My gosh.
Pokemon Spin Die one. Really cool. And this is actually the first Pyro that I ever got. Prism Proton. This is the plastic that inspired me to want to get a Prism Proton. And
thank you. I raved about the Prism plastic. Start making more Prism plastic, please. I love the Proton rim with the whatever flight plate you want. In that case, he's got that's a Proton on Proton, basically. But it's got the sparkles on the outside. But I prefer the plasma plates with the Proton Prism rims. Oh, look at that white.
It's just so versatile.
Yellow one. That's
if
a
you're
Neutron
a lower arm speed
Prism
player, then you're going to really enjoy it for maybe a utility mid-range slot, like very overstable wind fighter.
I agree. When it comes to, like, I need to throw a mid-range and I need it to be reliable no matter what that shape is, that it's not going to accidentally burn over or accidentally saw off on me, it is the Pyro. It's one of the most used discs in my bag.
One disc I'll talk about that I like, but I don't think will make the cut for right now, it's the Runway. The Runway is in between the Pyro and the Deflector.
I've got a Runway, and I've thrown it a few times. I didn't really care for it because I am not nearly as high speed of a player as Eagle, and I just found like it was a little bit too beefy for my needs. All right, so this is the first Deflector I got. I think this is the first one I got. This is the one I bagged for a while. It has this turtle guy from Ninja Turtles, the bad one.
I have this Proton one that I really like.
Yeah, I like
that
that
stamp.
stamp.
A soft Proton one. Another one I sent to Joy Reid. It's a Neutron. I'm actually getting Guts from Berserk dyed on it, which that
soft Proton is slowly starting to become one of my favorite plastics. As much as I love Plasma and especially Prism.
MVP has some amazing mid-ranges.
Yes, they do.
You have the Reactor, you got the Matrix, you got
I bag a reactor right now. I've had a matrix in the past. I got rid of it. I wish I wouldn't have, because I only ever had one. But I didn't throw it a lot.
Obviously the Detour, and then some other ones like the Uplink.
Uplink, I bag an
Paradox,
Uplink.
but
Paradox is super fun.
the Hex, guys. The Hex is an absolutely insane mid-range. I'm probably going to be bagging the Proton one. I also have this really cool Neutron one. Another Jack M die. Jack M.
Jack, you are killing it,
He sent
man.
me that's it.
Now, hot take, because I have defended the Hex. The Hex came out like literally a month after I started playing disc golf. It was the first disc, along with the Crave, that I bought from an online retailer. It's actually the first Hex I ever bought. I bought this right when they dropped the Skullboy stamp, which is absolutely sick. I'm trying really hard not to say absolutely all the time. I'm trying, I promise. But this is my first ace ever. I got this 3 months into playing. 100% luck, but I just ripped this thing kind of as hard as I could back in the day, went dead straight and faded right into the chain. So the Hex is a great disc. With that being said, I literally told my buddy today when we were playing our round, because I've been throwing the Echo and the soft proton plastic all over the place, and I threw it longer than like 4 of my 11-speed drivers. It just goes forever. It's crazy. Proton soft plastic becoming one of my favorites. And the Echo, I told my buddy today, that Echo I think might be better than the Hex.
We have some reactors. The reactor is a good disc as well.
It's an overlap
I feel
disc.
like with the Pyro, I don't really need this slot because it is in general a little bit more overstable.
Yes.
A disc I'll talk about in just a little bit. The Resistor is something that will also fill that slot.
Yes, the Resistor is a must.
We
It
got
gets the most use out of my
This
bag.
one's actually 157. Certain courses, it's going to be a great utility disc.
Roller.
Hyzer flip, roller, or just like some crazy. If I don't like the signal.
So if I were going to get somebody that said, I've never played disc golf before, and I actually did this with one of my buddies in Florida back when I was new, this is the disc, the Signal. That would be what I would give you like for your max speed. It is super understable, and it's great for people that don't really understand that discs are going to, on right hand, backhand, go to your left. This will flip up for basically anyone and go a really long distance.
Then the Ascend is my next option. The Relay, another disc I might need to test out, could be another option instead of the Ascend or Signal. The Crave is...
I'll tell you this, he has his discs organized exactly like I do, which is probably the way most people do. Speed, stability.
A phenomenal disc. Oh, wait. Before I get to the Crave, the Rhythm, that's another disc that I'm kind of looking forward to try.
So he should, if that's true, he should be talking like a Rhythm, a Crave, a Servo, and a Resistor coming up.
The Crave, amazing disc, but I am going to be leaning towards the
Servo.
Drum roll, please.
Or Resistor.
Servo. I have these Proton servos from the Circuit Challenge. Really fill out that fairway driver slot nice. That said, the disc that I've been hyping up is the Resistor.
Disc.
Eclipse Resistor is a magic unicorn disc. I feel like it's the disc.
Shout out my best friend Ross Combs. When I first started throwing MVP stuff, he hooked me up with this Neutron like first run Resistor, and it's got, we do this thing where if we hit off the basket on a true possible ace, not like something that, you know, sits the post on the ground, but like you hit cage or chains really good, put these X's on it. Triple X Resistor, so solid. And I have this thing that whenever I do ace with a disc, I'll take it out of the bag and replace it so that I don't accidentally throw it in the water and lose it. This would probably be the one disc that I can't take this out of my bag. This exact one. Resistor. Shout out Ross. Thank you.
A disc that I really want to throw just because of its name, the Trance.
Trance.
My favorite type of music. Next, I have a Virus that I might throw if the Trance doesn't work out for roller. Same with an Insanity, but I don't imagine that these will get too much time in the air. Next, we have the Tesla. I have a patent pending one here. I have some Neutron ones, and also a Plasma.
Oh yes, Plasma. Throw Plasma.
I need to do some more testing. I want to get my hands on some Proton Teslas. The Wrath. The Wrath is...
I do like my Wrath.
It's supposed to be just a little bit more overstable.
I literally just took my Wrath out of the bag because that was my lineup. I had an Insanity in my, where he was talking about a virus. That was an Insanity for me, even though it's not quite that understable. That's my most understable 9. And then I had a Tesla, a step up from that. I mean, I just did my in the bag recently, and then I had the Wrath over that, and I found out that I would throw that Wrath expecting it to be a little more overstable than my Tesla, and it was flying exactly like it and getting me in trouble and going too far right. So I replaced it with a TSA Coalesce.
Next up, a disc that I like but I'm not sure about is the Motion. The Motion is
never thrown a Motion.
Like
I almost bought one the other day.
More overstable Wrath or Tesla, borderlining on an FP3 / like super overstable fairway. Not as overstable as the Fireball. That said, I'm going to put the Motion on the sidelines because it might be getting used depending on what I need it for, but
Eagle, that entire rack is on the sideline at worst, buddy.
These are all Proton.
Dude, look at that purple and teal one.
All my expectations for an overstable fairway driver ability, which sounds amazing. So
shout out to
without
this
a doubt, the Fireball
Proton
is going
one
to be
too.
one of my go-to discs. From what I've thrown,
teal one though,
just insane. Like I'm beyond excited to throw it. So plasma ones are really cool too. I think plasma might be a little less overstable.
Maybe
so
that's
this
why I
could
like
be an
plasma.
option too if I want just more of a straight flyer. Next up is the Flare. Next up is 11 speeds, which is a speed that I'm looking forward to because I haven't really had that many options for 11 speed discs. So the first one
Ethos,
is
banana.
the Wave. This one's a fission wave.
Oh, the Wave.
The fizz.
How did I not mention the Wave? I love throwing this on drifting Annies.
Everyone should try out a Wave. There's going to be a use for it, and it's going to be on the sidelines for right now, but I definitely see a lot of potential of throwing some amazing shots with it.
Where's your Photon at?
A disc that I feel like might be a little bit more
Maybe
usable,
even your Jet.
like a little bit more overstable Wave, is the Defy. I know Simon really likes these for forehand. He throws it backhand a little bit because you also have the Zenith, which is very similar to the Defy. Could be a good forehand.
Has become my go-to max distance driver lately.
And then lastly,
look at that James stamp.
Or not lastly, next you have the Photon, which in the plasma plastic, these feel like they're going to be really overstable. Last 11 speed, that'll be very circumstantial. I really like the idea of it, but kind of like this Flare, I feel like this might not come to the bag just because there's faster discs that are just as overstable as this. But next up is the time lapse. These are all Neutron. I need to do some testing with these ones. These are Proton time lapses. I don't believe that these are released yet. I really like
so pretty.
Feel. I know that these are going to be very overstable, kind of like a PD2 slot. I'm really looking forward to giving these Proton time.
I feel like that's the first disc he's put in his bag in a while. I'm going through all these.
This is a try. Next, you have the Mayhem. The Mayhem is going to be a disc that sits on the bench.
Yeah, it's too flippy for you.
Maybe a good forehander, maybe a good roller. Generally speaking, for my arm speed, it's going to be a little bit flippy. I've been throwing it left-handed, and it absolutely smashes. So
the numbers wouldn't tell you that. That's like a 13.5, -2.2. It's like a wave. It's like a 2-speed higher wave. Look at that. White rim. Generally, I do not like the earthy green colors from MVP, especially when they get this brown and stuff. But for some reason, this one just always stood out to me. And yeah, like, see, the numbers don't suggest that it's that flippy. I was wrong. It's a 13.5, 1.5, 2.
If you have like 350 to 430 feet of power, you should try a Mayhem because they're really good.
Going back in the bag.
You have
Thanks,
the
Eagle.
Octane, same kind of slot as the Mayhem. I seem to lean towards the Mayhem a little bit more, but I could be persuaded. But
Vision
I think,
Octane,
the Mayhem
same
will
problem.
fill
I
that
roll
slot.
it.
The Octane feels really good, but I think it's just a little bit deeper than the Mayhem, which I generally gravitate towards more shallow rim discs. I feel like they release easier for me. Next up,
I can't see any difference between the Mayhem and the
Panic's
Octane.
another cool disc that I want to test out. Some of them feel very overstable, like PD2 adjacent, I would say. But the disc that I know that I'm really going to like is the, gosh, these are all messed up in order.
See,
The next disc,
speed stability, I think, is how he organizes his discs.
From what I've thrown of it, is the Nitro. I have 2 patent pending ones that definitely, if you hear that,
pop top.
They have some good dome on them. A disc that's not released yet that I think is a good prospect is the Streamline Discs engine. Disc I foreshadowed talking about is the Energy. The Energy is almost like a 13-speed tilt. I've been known to throw these even before being on MVP. The Tantrum. The Tantrum, the numbers are 14.5, 5, -1.
Now that makes Eagle sound like I didn't get it. I was like, I don't think you should be telling people you were throwing MVP when you weren't on MVP to throw a tantrum.
1.53.
Well played.
So, but I think the real star of the show that, for my gut's telling me, is going to be my go-to driver.
Trying to think what else is in that 13 to 14.5 speed lineup.
I have another one that I sent to Joy Reid. I'm getting Zorro from One Piece dyed on it. But the Neutron Dimension, another 14.5 speed, very dependable, overstable driver. But for my arm speed, I can get them to turn to the right and get just a ton of distance. It's very similar to the Dimension in flight. It's out of production right now, and it actually has a name that is not accurate to what the name is now. It's the Gravity, but it's also known as the Limit. These are
the Limit. I've seen the Limit.
These are patent pending, so they're definitely old. These white ones, huge pop top on them. This is no exception. This is an absolute bomber. I'm really looking forward to giving that a try.
About as much as I do.
I think that's all that I have to say for this video.
All right, so there you have it. Really awesome to see him go through and not just talk about the discs that he's excited to throw, or the ones that he's temporarily calling in his bag, or the rough draft, as he said. But really interesting to see him just talk about every single one, regardless of whether or not it was going in his bag. The dude is a nerd, and like I said before, I absolutely love it, because that's one of my favorite parts of this game, is the mind puzzle of seeing the shapes and the shots and everything. But that's pretty sweet. So he just said he'll be doing an official in the bag, probably closer to when the season gets rolling. So what I'm going to try to bookmark to remind myself to do is that when that video gets posted, what I want to do is, before I watch it, pop in here, pick 3 discs from his lineup that I say 100% these are in, and 3 discs 100% these are out, and see how close I am. And I could be completely wrong. He can set that bag up and not, take a single disc out of it, and obviously that would mess that up for my prediction. But it'll be fun to do, because I love this stuff. Like I said in my in the bag video, like I really nerd out on this stuff. I love watching what people throw, especially when I know the discs, MVP, Mint, TSA, stuff like that. So yeah, that's it. I think I may chop this up and take out some pieces and post this as my Friday video for this week, just because it was kind of cool and something different. And I did go out and throw today and make a throwing video. So that'll kind of switch things up. Yeah, that wraps it up for this video. I do appreciate you all, as always. If you're still hanging around, you enjoyed the video, please do me a favor, give it a like. And I'm going to see you next one.